Right. Good evening, everyone. So today I'm going to show you, give you a lectures on how to um, use MySQL as a database um, uh, with PHP. Right. So basically, if you see here, we have on your screen, we have a XAMPP package, right? Which consists of Apache, MySQL, FileZilla, Mercury, and Tomcat. But what we need today is normally what we have in the past few weeks, in the past few lectures is Apache. But for this time, we will need MySQL. So if you see here, we will need this MySQL, right? Okay, so hopefully you can see that, right? And I haven't started anything yet, right? So we need a few components. Okay, this is a XAMPP package, and another thing is, as usual, we need a notepad. Okay, so we need a notepad, and another one is it's a client itself, which is the browser. Okay, right. So okay, before we start, I would like to say a few things about database, right, which normally used in the web programming. Um, Normally we have relational database, right? So relational database is a database, right, that has the ability to store a data, right? But in a forms of tabular format. So we have a coordinates. If you see in MySQL, we have sort of like a coordinates, but actually it's we are calling the rows. We are not calling the columns, right? We are calling the rows by rows. So rows is from left to right, right? So column is from top to bottom, right? So it looks like a coordinates, right? But uh, in the first place, it is actually a rows, right? Like I said just now, it's a row. So you have to remember that, okay? Right. So I will for today I will go straight forward to the hands-on, to the applications, okay? So we're going to have a few things that we're going to see, right? Which is how to insert data, how to delete data, how to update data, and how to view the data that we have stored, right? So here also, oh, before I forgot, we need another thing is the database itself, the web portal for the MySQL, right? Okay. So if you see here, guys, we have these things, okay? So normally we start the Apache, right? Okay, this is normal. And for today, we need to start MySQL as well. Okay, so at this point, we see both are able to start. So that means it's going to be okay for that for both applications, right? So normally what we see is only Apache, but for today we're going to see MySQL. So from here you can have you can admin, right? So you can go to a page, right? Okay, let me share the files with you. Okay, um, okay, I'm going to share you the a browser. Okay, I'm going to show you the browser. Applications, the browser. Okay, right. So what we need to have here, just now click admin, but turn out it goes into uh, not found is because I have changed the port to 8080, right? But that's fine. We can write it manually. Localhost k a host double dot http php my admin. So we're going to see these interfaces, right? So we're going to see these things. Okay, so if you see here, we have uh, there are quite a lot of functions that we can see here, right? For instance, we have databases, we have SQL, we have status, we have new, and then we have these informations ABC account, etc. But you have to understand that we want to see the very those important basic things, right? Okay, okay. This is actually this is a web portal for a database, right? So database means that you wanted to store something, okay, in the forms of tabular formats, okay, right? So what we do, let's say for examples, we have very simple systems which allow a few users with their username and password to be stored in a database, right? Okay, so we need a database, right? Two things that we have to remember. The first is the names of the database, and the second thing is actually the table itself, right? Okay, so if you see here, okay, I'm clicking database, right? So I'm writing a database name, for example, okay, schools, right? So I click create, it has been created, and this is where we need to put something, for example, student. Okay, this is actually for table, right? To create a table of a database as called students. Just now it's the name of the database, which is school. So how many columns that we wanted to have? So since we wanted to put username and passwords, so it's going to be 2. Oh, sorry. In the future, you can add more columns, right? But for now, we choose 2. Okay, and then we have, for example, user, username. And here we have a varchar, it's for tags, alphabets, and so on. And we have 50 of the lengths. You can put 100 and so on. Okay, now we put 50. So now I'm having 2 columns. So I click save here. Right. So now we want to find the table called student. Okay. So if you see here, we have database is school, table's name is student, right? So find a student here. So this is the tables. When you click here, so there's nothing here, right? So our aim is to put something inside, okay, and is to also to retrieve what we have put in. We wanted to update and we wanted to delete. Okay, so there are a lot of things that we can manipulate by using these 4 functions. Okay, these 4 main functions in database: insert, delete, update, retrieve, right? But a lot of creative things that you can make from that concepts, right? I'm going to show you the very uh, basic programs on how to insert things and so on, right? Okay, so I'm going to share you this notepad screen, right? Or okay, I'm going to show you this. Right, so let me share this notepad, right? Okay, so for now we have untitled notepad, which is we haven't saved yet, right? So my aim is to put a username, right, and the password into the database, right? So at this point, don't think about loops, don't think about if how what about if we have many users. So don't think about that right now. You just need to understand the mechanisms of these basics of inserting data into database tables. Right. So of course we're going to have PHP as usual, because this MySQL query is written um, in the PHP text. Okay, so this is important, right? But even if you don't have it, it's going to be okay, right? For most of the programs. Okay, we need two things. Okay, all right. The first one is the connections to the database itself, and the second one is actually the query to execute the instructions itself. For instance, the instructions of inserting data or deleting data. Right now, we focus for insert data into table. Right. So this is simply a command, so it's not going to be a problem here. Okay. So we need these two important so-called building functions: mysqli underscore connect, right? And another one is mysqli underscore query. Okay, right. So mysqli underscore connect is basically to connect to database, and query is to execute what kind of instructions that you want to do. Like I said just now, it's going to be an insert, is going to be delete or update, right? Okay, so I believe this is from my personal opinion that most of the people, when they try to see the database, they just got a bunch of the codes, right? So what they do, they're just trying to run the code, okay, without understanding what should be inside the arguments, right? What should come first and so on, right? So like I said, at this point, I'm going to show you the very simplified um, way of inserting data, right? So these things, we have two things: MySQL Connect and MySQL Query. So what we need in the argument, right? So if you see here, what we need here, okay? So it's going to be an argument, two arguments, right? So there's a comma here, right? To this is that the first argument is something else, second argument is something else, right? This is what normally we have, but here we're going to have four arguments, right? So that's going to be, it's going to be like this, right? Okay. Okay, so okay, I personally prefer to use double quotations. Like I said, it's not any issues. Okay, so what we have in here, okay, the first line in here is actually the names of the server. So in this case, you're going to have a local host. Okay, the second name is actually the usernames, which is root. It's being given, and we don't use any passwords. It's nothing, it's a null. And here is the names of the database, right? Don't get confused with the names of the database and the names of the table, right? Just now, name of the place, school, is not student. So you just need to get it right, all right? Okay, and oh, sorry. Okay, so I will save this first, right? In a htdocs. Okay, let's find C partitioned. Okay, so I'm going to save it as the ins.php. So that's how I try to remember this file's name, so I can easily track what kind of functions that we did in these programs. Okay, so now I'm having these four things, and what is inside my SQLi underscore query, right? There's going to be two things. The first is the connections, and the second one is the query instructions. Like for now, we wanted to insert, right? So it's going to be this line, right? This line is going to be the query. This line is going to be the connections. So actually, these things, right? It can be inside this. You can just for one go, but let's not do that, especially when you try to learn the programs, right? Unless you are if you are really building something for industries and you don't have much time for to write one by one, and you can just write one go, right? So so let's put these things in a variable we call cont, right? And then we have this one, right? Okay. So and the next one is we're gonna have $sign SQL. Okay, this is kind of a reverse things. I shouldn't have this one first, but I have practiced this for quite a while. So $sign SQL is holding the instructions. Okay, right? So what are the instructions is to insert, right? So what we do, $sign SQL here, and then we have the instructions here, right? So you can, like I said, you can have a shortcuts, write everything in one line and so forth, right? But it's, I'm not suggesting that you write that when you are especially when you are actually in a context of educations, right? Because you want to learn things, right? It's going to be one by one. So what is the query of inserting data is insert insert into values, and then you're going to have the brackets, and then you're going to have this one, right? So why I'm having these two is because I'm having uh two columns, right? The first one username. So what are the things that I wanted to put inside is going to be, for example, the name, right? So it's going to be Jason, and the password is going to be ABC123, right? So if you see here, I simply have three lines. The first one is the connections. The second one is the query itself, and the second one is the instructions, and the third one is the query to execute instructions, right? So both inside is very important. So this is concepts. You need the connections and you need the query. So you save it. So guess what? I'm gonna run uh what do we call these programs? Okay, it's going to sound. I'm expecting it to insert data into the database, right? Okay. So what do you expect? So I'm going to share the applications, right? I'm going to share these things, the browser. Oh, sometimes I'll share. Okay. Okay, I'm going to share you the browser. Okay, share. Okay, right? So you can see here, this is a database with an empty things there. Okay, so I've tried to run localhost. Oh, I already have files there, so I just call it ins.php, enter. Right. So I'm gonna go back to here. I'm going to oh, so we need to check because it's not being inserted. I need to check the code backs. Okay, right. So if you see back the code, okay, if you see back the codes, I forgot to put Okay, let me share the okay. I forgot to put table name. Insert into, right? Insert into, it should be insert into student. Okay. Why? Somehow you're gonna find some error. Maybe you overlook. So hopefully it's gonna be okay. I'm going to Ctrl S. I'm going to run again. Applications. Okay. So let us check together. If not, then we repeat the same things. Okay. To troubleshoot. It's okay to troubleshoot. It's not a problem. Sometimes we overlook at some things. So I refresh. So now we can see JSON and EBC123 is inside. Okay. Right. So what if we wanted to have more data? All right. So we can just play around with this hard code data. So you can write Asman and the password is ABC124. Right. Refresh. I'm going to refresh this one. Okay. I'm going to refresh again. So it's going to be Asman ABC124. So what I do is I just change the names in the columns, right, one by one. Okay, so I'm gonna put few things, maybe another a list ABC 1 to 5. Okay, and then I'm gonna put okay, then I'm gonna put Chan ABC 1 to 6. Right, fresh, then I refresh again, and then I'm gonna put last one, which is Ravi 7. Don't forget to save, refresh, finish it. So you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So um, we have Jason, Asmand, Alice, Chan, and Ravi, right? With a different password. Okay, right. So now we have that for insert. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is actually do some updates. Okay, so we wanna to update things, right? So I'm gonna have a new notepad file. Okay, I'm going to share you the notepad file. Let me share the notepad file. Okay, I'm going to share you. So I'm going to have a new one. So I'm going to save it as do update upd.php. Okay. So it's normal things we have PHP, right? So the two things that we need, connections, right? So a query, okay? So what we need is the four things: localhost, root, nothing for the password, and school. So as you know, we need to store this in a variable, any names, and here we could have the connections, and here we could have the query. Okay, you can have straight away query here, but normally I don't practice this. All right, especially in the context of educations, because like I said, I just want to show one by one. So we're going to have update student. This is names of this. This is the names of tables set. What do you want to do? User which you want to set to a new user. Okay, let's say if you see the database, you have JSON, right? You want to change JSON to, for instance, Smith, right? So you know that you want to set a user to Smith, okay, where user is equal to JSON. Okay, right. Okay, like I said, guys, uh, this is the, it's gonna take the row whereby the user is equal to JSON. So we expect it to change um, the JSON to Smith, but the password remain the same. Okay, right. So you're gonna have this. Here is gonna have SQL. Okay, right. So we're gonna have 2 lines. So let's just run and let's see if we have any syntax error. Then from that we can check the error itself. Right. Just run upd.php. Right. So if you see here, let me share the screen. Let's share the screen. Okay. Right. So here we run upd, right? Upd. But before that, you can see, right? It's a blank page because we don't echo anything. It's the same goes to upd, right? No error. So we try to go to a database. We try to see, refresh. Oh, it's not changed. Let us see what is the problems. Okay, let me check the code. Okay. If you see here, what I write in the codes, it's a user, but here is a user, right? So let's just go back to the code. Okay, let's just go back to the code. So I'm going to share you the code, the notepad, right? So it should, right? Waiting for it to come out. Okay, so if you see here, its user is supposed to be username, right? So this is normal. If you mistakenly write the wrong column, okay, so you just go through that. So just make sure, because we are using a notepad, so it's going to be black and white only, so you have to see carefully. Doesn't have any colors. Usernames, and this one username. So it means that change username to Smith for the row username equal to JSON, right? I'm going to save it, right? Again, do the same thing. Share the windows. Share. Okay, so you're going to be, okay, so I'm going to write things here, enter, and I'm going to refresh again. Okay, it changed to Smith, right? What about if I want to change both, right? So just simply go to the code, right? And then just put after username equal to Smith, right? I just right, change it to, okay, change it to WT equal to ABC122, where username is equal to Smith, right? Okay, so just control S. Okay, so I refresh these things, and so Smith and password change to ABC122. Okay, so how do I do that? Okay, so if you see here, let me share the code, the notepad code. Okay, it's here. It takes some times for these things to be. So if you see here, right, what I do, guys, okay, what I do, guys, you can see just now originally we have this, but I added some comma and I said that set username equal to Smith and the PWD equal to ABC122, right? Okay, so that change this both. We don't use and we use a comma where username equal to Smith. Initially it was Jason, right? If you write Jason here, there's nothing changed because they can't find the rows with username equal to Jason because it has previously changed to Smith. So that's why you're having Smith here, right? So now what about if we wanted to change these conditions, set username to oh, Raymond, okay, and then password to ABC129, okay, where username is equal to Smith and password is equal to, okay, so they try to, okay, just now the password is ABC. Let me check. I forgot. Let me check the black box. The password. Smith ABC122. Right. Smith and ABC122. Right. What about username is Smith? Sorry, the password is ABC122 is the same, but here we put Smith. Right. Logically, they can't find the row username Smith SMIT. Okay. Because this is the end, so it should be a combinations, but if you have or, it's going to be okay, it's either one, right? But now we need both conditions, right? So there's if you run this, nothing is going to change, so it's still Smith ABC122. There's still H here, right? So there is for an update. Okay, right, now we go to delete. Okay, we go to delete. All right, so we go to delete. I'm going to create a new notepad. I'm going to see that. Share you the screen. Okay. Oh, before that, let me share the screen just now. Okay, so if you see here, guys, after I run the upd.php, the Smith doesn't change at all, right? So if you see the code, I try to change Smith to SMIT only without H, but it doesn't change because they can't find the row with um, sorry, they can't find the row with the Smith SMIT and ABC122 because of the condition and, because password is correct but username is not right, but because of the and conditions and both correct. Okay, so let me correct that. I wanted to set into Raymond, not Smith, set the username, but they can't do that because the conditions tends to be false. Okay, right, so this is for this one, but what about if we change to all? We can set now we can change to all, right? Okay, okay, so run system. Okay, oh sorry, I forgot to share the screen. Share application. Okay, so you can see Raymond there, right? Because it changed because of conditions. Okay, right. So now we already know about insert and update, which is two important functions. Now the third functions is to delete, right? Is to delete. So go for a new notepad. Okay, so it's not bad there. It's not bad. Okay, share, right. So I'm going to have a new file, right? PHP there. So I'm going to save it as, okay, what is this? Delete, D-E-L-E dot PHP. Okay, so remember it deletes a row, right? Same formula, we need connections. So I have to explain this again. Root, I think, school, okay, my SQL underscore. Okay. Um, connections. Remember, so we put here connections. Okay, and here is SQL. So now we need a query, which is delete. So you need to be careful with delete, right? So what delete is delete. There's no delete all. We don't write like this. We delete from a student table. Be careful if you write delete from student, it's gonna delete the whole table, right? So delete, but what normally student do is delete all from student is not gonna work, right? Is delete from students, it's enough to say that delete the whole data in the tables, right? Because the name of the table is student and the name of the database is school. Okay, where a username is equal to, you want to delete Raymond. Okay, so at this point everything is a hard code, right? So you can have variables here, right? Example variable user. Okay, so if you still remember for these codes, we have single quotations which treated the variables as literally as a strings, but it's not going to happen in the SQL query, right? So it's a special case. So this is fine. If you use this, double quotations, so the outside is going to be a single quotations. Okay, so let's just make it as this, right? And deletes, which is Raymond. So you can have conditions and or whatsoever, but Raymond, like I said, it's enough. They will find a row that has a username of Raymond, and they will delete, the programs will delete the whole row, right? So what do you expect? If you see from the table, Raymond and ABC, Raymond and the password will be deleted. So 4 rows left. Okay, so I'm going to save it. Okay, just leave it. You just check the what do we call that? The syntax error or whatever error after we run this. Okay. Okay, now so if you see here, guys, there will be a Raymond here. So because we have that, okay, use a rows with Raymond is only one, so Raymond will be expand. It will be deleted, right? DELE pop PHP. Oh, there's some problem there, right? So let's just check. Uh, something wrong with the code. Okay, give me some times. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna refresh. Now the PHP. Sorry guys, okay, give me some time. So I'm going to check what's the problem here. Okay. Okay, sorry, I'm having the wrong spelling for the localhost. It should be LOCA, but I'm right here, LCOA, right? So I'm just fixing here, right? You can't see in the screen because I didn't share it, but that's okay. Localhost, good. Okay, now I'm going to refresh it. Hopefully it's going to work. Okay, now it's work, right? So we just refresh this. Pop, Rainbow will be gone. Okay, right? So you just imagine, okay, if you go back to the code, right? So if you okay, let me share the screens. Okay, right, let me share the screens. Okay, so I'm sharing here. So what about if you have, okay, wait, come on. It's okay. So Raymond is here, right? If I said, okay, delete from student where username is not equal to null. So that means whatever rows that have data, it will be deleted because it says where username is not equal to null. Okay, right? But you can try it yourself. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to put again the data because I want to use the data for the functions, right? So okay, so Raymond. Okay, so it's done for delete, and we want to go to the last functions, important functions, which is the retrieve. Okay, we wanted to display all the username and the password inside. Okay, so having a notepad here, share the notepad. Okay, so again, new file as normal, as usual. We write PHP tag there, and then we're gonna have save. So this is retrieve ret.php. It's the same thing, same functions. Okay, I don't have to explain again. Right? Local, I just know this is what happened. Localhost is the wrong name. Okay, localhost, root, nothing, school. Okay, and we put it in the connections. Assign cont. Okay, assign SQL. Okay, right. Assign SQL. What we wanted to do? We wanted to view what we have in the database, and then we display the browser. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, right. So if you see here, we must select all, right? We must select all those data, right? So what we do, select. This time we use this star, right? Don't confuse with delete. Select all from student, right? Okay. So this is enough. Select all from students. Okay. And then down here we're gonna have a special functions mysqli underscore fetch underscore array. Okay. What is the functions of mysqli underscore fetch underscore array is actually to fetch, right? To fetch, if you see back in the database, right? If you see back in the database, share again. Okay, so if you see back in the database, you have Azman, Alice, Chan, and Ravi, right? Okay, so you wanted the MySQL underscore fetch underscore array, they will fetch the key username to Azman, and password to PWD to ABC124, and key username to Alice, and the key PWD to ABC125, the key username to Chan, and the key PWD to ABC126, and the key of username to Ravi, and the key of PWD to ABC127. And the username also, we can, they share the default key, which is 0, and PWD is 1, right? So I can show you the examples in the codes. Try to print the key and the value, right? Okay, that's for the moment, right? So what is the argument is this instruction. So I just put in the, right, just put in here, and this will be these things, okay, right? So then I store it in the, for example, row. What happened here, this query execute select all from students, and then connect this query instructions, connections, put in here, send this results of instructions and connections, put here, as n is going to be fetch as array. So this row is holding an array. So you cannot have echo row, echo $ row. It's going to be string array conversions, right? So, but we use this while to check if there is still an array. Please proceed with the data. So I'm going to have print r, remember print underscore r to print the key and value, assign row, save, and I have break there, right? So you can see clearly the things, right? So let's save, let's change to browser, okay, application, okay, right? We got this, and this is saved as ret.php, right? Right, run. So you can see it will be key and value, right? So 0 is to Azman, username is to Azman. Like I said, they have the key of username, but at the same time they have the 0 as the key as well. They have two keys. So 1 is to ABC124, PW is to ABC124, right? So you can use both key. If you want to call it, you can echo $row 0, or you can equal $row username. So it will be Azman there, right? Okay. So, but we just want to print out. We just want to print out the. We just want to print out the, what do we call that? The things, right? The username and the password. So we don't want the key, right, to be printed out. So let's delete this. So since you know this is array, since you know you cannot have $row, but you can have username, right? And $row, that's right, PWD, PWD, right? Okay, so you have echo break. And you can write break one line with the array, but just less confusion, right? So remember, I use echo, it's possible because I'm calling the offset, right? So if you just simply have echo $row, it's going to be a problem, right? So it's going to print out name and password and then break, and then the next name and password and so on, right? So I'm going to run this, share the applications, right? Right, I'm going to run this. Okay, so you can see Azman ABC 124, Alice ABC 125, Chan ABC 126, Rabi ABC 127. What about if you don't want to have password in the code? You just remove the $row with the key pwd, right? Okay, so I'll refresh. It's going to be Azman, Alice, Chan, and Ravi. And another one is how to okay uh, to get it in a sequence order, right? So we have this one. Select all from student. Okay, by username. Let's see, right? Okay, so it's going to be right. So it's turned upside down because I'm changing to the descending order, right? So I'm sharing the codes here. Okay, right? So if you see here, right, what did I do just now is, okay, select all from student, where order by username, descending order. So you can see the names. It's going to be R, Ravi, C, E, E. So Azman and Alice come first because after E is L. For Alice, after E is L. For Azman, after E is X. So Alice will be the first things, but now Alice will be the last one because of the order. So if you just leave as it is, it's going to be by ascending order by default, but you can have this as well. But if you want ascending, it's okay. You can just have it by default, right? DSC. And another last one is where we have a condition, right? Selects all from students where username equal to Chan. So I only wanted to put out Chan. Okay, right? So it's going to be Chan only. Okay, let's share the screens. Browser share. Right? So I'm going to refresh. So I'm going to expecting Chan. So it is Chan only. Right? So guys, I think that's all for today. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. Right? So have a good day. Bye bye. Have a good day.